Hi everyone, welcome back to this episode of my channel. For my returning subscribers, karibuni sana, and if you know you're new to this channel, kindly don't forget to subscribe to support our channel. And if you really find this educative, please don't forget to share with your friends to also help them learn. So in today's video we are going to discuss a relationship. Mapenzi wewe. Yeah, so today's video is really going to be really amazing and really educative to all those who are eyeing and or seeking advice that we cannot really get from out there, and especially those who are brought up in families where unaendanga huko mbele ukifundishwa na ulimwengu. So this is the moment for us to learn. This is the moment for us to learn together, for us to gain knowledge together, and how to tackle our relationships and even our marriages to come. Yes, so in today's video we are going to discuss about healthy and unhealthy relationships, and how to know whether your relationship is a healthy one or unhealthy one, or an unhealthy relationship. So with me are some of the characteristics that, or some of the things that really help in molding or building a healthy relationship. And number one of the things that I'm going to discuss today is trust. Trust. You cannot be in a relationship with someone you do not trust. You can't just go out there and meet a total stranger who is totally new into your life and trust them with your lives. You guys have to have been together for some period of time. You guys have to have learned about each other for you to decide to risk, or to risk your life with them. Yeah, so my number one thing is trust. You have to trust someone. Don't just fall in love with someone who is totally strange to you. You don't know. People are capable of doing really bad things out here, and therefore you just have to know someone. Yeah, that person doesn't necessarily have to come from your village, because unajua watu mnatokanga now the same village, and you understand them better. They really don't have to come from the same village as you, but you really have to take your time to trust someone for you to entrust them with your lives. Don't be in a rush. Take time, make decisions while in a sober mind. Number two is respect. What do I mean by respect? Respect entails a lot of things. Yeah, you have to respect me and I have to respect you for us to be in a relationship. You can't be in a relationship where you're not respected, you're not appreciated. But what does respect really entails? Respect entails boundaries. What boundaries have I set for my life, and how are you going to ensure that my boundaries are not crossed in this relationship that we are deciding to venture into? This applies to both the male and the female. If you think that your boundaries are really not respected, then you're not in the right relationship. And what are the types of boundaries? Today we are going to learn about the different types of boundaries that you really need to look into while entering into a relationship, and look keenly if those boundaries of yours are crossed or everything is okay. So number one is emotional boundary. We have different types of boundaries, and number one is emotional boundary. What do I mean by emotional boundary? How do I feel? How do I feel when something happens to me? And how do you ensure that that boundary of mine is not crossed? How do you ensure you don't make me feel bad by crossing a given boundary? How do you ensure that I know I'm not hurt by crossing certain boundaries of mine? That is very crucial in a relationship. In a relationship is where you guys decide to come together and share each other's experiences and share each other's moments, and therefore you can't be in a relationship with someone who doesn't consider your emotional boundary, someone who doesn't consider your emotions. Number two, we are going to talk about physical boundaries. People have circles. There's that circle which everyone can fit in, and there's that circle which only selected people can fit in, and there's that circle of your family and your friends, and then there's that circle of you and your partner, and then there's that inner circle that only belongs to you. No one is supposed to cross that circle. How are you expressing yourself when I'm around you? Do I want you to physically touch me, or do I really need some boundaries between us? You should be in a relationship with someone who respects that, and you're also supposed to respect the boundaries they've put in their lives for that relationship to be healthy and long lasting. Because if I set boundaries, for example, if I say I don't want someone who is really touchy in public, I don't want someone who is who expresses their emotions in public, which is not a good characteristic of the healthy relationship, of course, then that person needs to respect the fact that I really don't want that, and they respect the fact that I am comfortable being the way I am. For someone to be in a relationship with you, they must have accepted you for the person you are, with the boundaries that you set. And then number 3, we have relational boundaries. How do I relate with people? How do I relate with you? This applies for friendship and also for relationship. In friendship situation, maybe in my relationship with you, I only expect friendship to be between us. I don't expect that if we are friends, we go hugging each other, we go holding hands. If I don't accept that, just ensure that that relational boundary is maintained between us for us to have a healthy, friendly relationship. And when it comes to intimate relationship, you also need to understand what relational boundaries do I have with my friends. If I'm in that kind of friendship where I'm okay with hugging my friends, then you need to respect that. By that doesn't mean that I'm being disrespectful to you, but that is how I term friendship relationship. Friendly relationship, yes. So number 4 type of boundary is environmental boundary. In my environment, I have my own personal stuffs, and you really need to respect the fact that I have my own personal stuffs, things that I really don't want someone to get into. Things like diary, those are really personal stuffs in my environment. I don't expect you, like, as my boyfriend or as my intimate relationship partner, to simply because you feel like we are in a relationship, you can just bump into my everything and get to know my inner life. There are things that are meant to be private between me and myself, and things that are decided to be written down in diaries. You're supposed to respect your partner's boundary, your partner's diary. If they don't allow you to touch it, if they don't feel comfortable with you touching them, just respect that, and that will really cultivate a healthy relationship. Number 3 thing we are going to discuss today is purposive relationship. Remember, our number 1 was trust, our number 2 was respect, and number 3 is now purpose. You should have purpose in a relationship. You cannot be in a relationship where there is no purpose. You guys are not going anywhere. There's nothing driving you. You should be in a relationship where you guys see future with each other, and by future I mean you should have someone who is really seeing themselves or their lives in your shoes. You can't be with someone who doesn't even recognize you in their plans for the future, and yet you claim to be in a serious relationship. That is not a long lasting relationship. If you're in a relationship where you feel like your partner is not free to express or to tell you the plans they have for their lives, then definitely know that is a red flag, and that relationship is not going to be long lasting. And you should find ways of, if things are not going to work between you guys, just let go of everything. Number 4 is obsession. If you're in a relationship with someone who is really obsessed with you, then that relationship is not long lasting. What do I mean by obsession? Like, there's this person who is overly thinking of you, that will lead to lust and not love. And when your relationship is only driven by lust and obsession, then it is not a long lasting relationship, because lust doesn't love, but love does last. Are you getting? Yeah. So if you find yourself in a relationship where your partner is really obsessed with you, your partner is really obsessed by the things you do, and that is not a healthy relationship. It's not a long lasting healthy relationship. You should have someone who is driving things really slowly and not crazily mad with you, or crazily falling in love. Don't crazily fall in love. If you find yourself in a situation where end up crazily falling in love, then you will end up interrupting or interfering with the plans of your life. And if that is interfered with, if your other partner was really focused and you're just crazily in love with them, and you forget that there are other things that you need to focus on, then it will ruin your relationship, and they will end up leaving you for a better person who can focus on developing their lives. Therefore, if you find yourself in a situation where you're crazily in love with someone, don't make a step. Number 6 is, okay, another thing is ideas. Do you guys agree in your ideas? Do you guys agree or disagree in your ideas? There are relationships where only one person dominates the relationship because they don't want to listen to their other partners and get to know the kind of ideas that their other partners have. If you find yourself in a situation where you are always the one who is dominating that relationship and that relationship is not long lasting, ideas are supposed to be shared and are supposed to be mutually shared between the two of you, because this is something that the two of you came up with, and so it wise to cultivate it to an extent that will lead to something great. If you find yourself in a situation where your ideas are not considered in a relationship, then run for your life, because that is not the healthy relationship that we desire to have. Another thing is financial dependency. What do I mean by financial dependency? Many are the relationship, or many are the many are the relationships where men are termed to be the providers of the house. It is not a bad thing. A man is the one who's supposed to be providing for the family, which is biblically proven. But in a situation where the wife is just fully dependent on the man, it is not bad to depend on your man, but you will start noticing that with time there'll be that madharau, like atakuwa na kubeba ndogo, hatakuwa na kuconsider anymore. Like utaona tu kuna kale kama madharau, because at the end of the day men have this character where if they realize that ni yeye tu unamtegemea, ni yeye, they'll end up doing really weird things in your life. So you're supposed to be in a relationship where you're not fully dependent on your partner financially, because when that happens kutakuwa na madharau, and kukikuwa na madharau, definitely things are not going to fall in place venye zinafaa ku fall in place between the two of you. Yeah, so ladies, I know at times it's really difficult, but we can just look for something that just cultivate on your skill before moving into a relationship, so that kakiumana you have something that can give you something. Yeah, cultivate on the skills, cultivate on your skills. Just cultivate on that one thing that you know you can do perfectly, yeah, without having to affect your relationship by being over dependent. And then there are other things, there are other minor aspects of a relationship that really shows characteristics of unhealthy relationship. And these aspects are just minors, and they're just advices in a relationship. If you want to cultivate a healthy relationship, a healthy long lasting relationship, let your partner have a voice. Let them do what they like doing. Before you came into their lives, there was something they really used to enjoy. If it is hanging out with their friends, allow them. Give them that time to continue with the kind of lifestyle they used to have in the past. Let it not be that the moment you entered into their lives, you changed their lives, that even people around them will notice that their lives are changed because of relationship. No, let your partner express themselves as they used to express themselves before you met them. Let them hang out with the friends they used to hang out with before. Let them enjoy the activities they used to enjoy before you came into their lives. Let them enjoy every aspect of their environment they used to enjoy before you came into their life. Because if you be too demanding without allowing them to enjoy the aspect of their life, you're going to make your relationship really boring. And when that happens, that relationship is not going to be long lasting. People are brought up in different environments where they expect their lives to be driven in a different way, and if you want to restrain them in a given niche that they cannot be comfortable around, then definitely your relationship or your marriage, your future marriage, is really definitely going to fail. Another thing is that you should not compromise in ideas. If your partner decides it is this way and you decide it is this way, you guys are supposed to have that mutual understanding that will at the end of the day bring you guys to a common agreement that will lead you or will make you go forward. Because compromising ideas or compromising ideas generally will not help you move on. And then another aspect is you being supportive and not competitive in a relationship. If you find yourself in a situation where you're just competitive, you guys just want to see who goes further than who. If you guys don't want to be supportive and are just being competitive, your relationship is not headed anywhere. So if you want a healthy relationship, if you want to cultivate a healthy relationship, ensure that you don't compete, but instead you support each other, and that relationship will be long lasting. Another thing is letting go. Letting go when the time comes. Yeah, many other relationship I've witnessed that when that point reaches that they really need to part ways, that they really need to let go of things, they're like, remember how far we've come, remember the things we've done, remember this and that, we can't just let go of each other. If you leave me, I'm going to die. If you leave it, you have to let go. You have to let go for you to embrace a healthy, long lasting relationship. You can't force someone to be in a relationship with you, because the moment you tell them, the moment they decide they really want to get out of that relationship and you restrain them from getting out of that specific relationship, then there's going to be a problem in the future. They'll be like, I really wanted to go, but you never wanted me to go. At the end of the day, I'm not in this relationship. You're in this relationship alone. You forced me into this. So when the right time comes for you guys to part ways, if you think that, if you've sat down and seen that things are actually not working between the two of you and you guys really need to part ways, let go peacefully, and that will really cultivate a healthy nature of you in relationships and really cultivate a long-lasting relationship. Because if you let go when you get into another relationship, you'll notice the red flags and things are really going to be easy. Yeah, so I hope this was really educative to my young or age mates, or even elder sisters who are not yet into marriage, and I hope this will really help you, and you guys are really going to look into your lives and see how you're going to perfect your future relationships. And I hope it was really educative, and if you found it educative, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and kindly share to your fellow sisters whom you feel need this form of advice. Thank you so much for staying tuned till the end of this video, and I love you so much, and thank you so much for your support. Till next time, family. Bye bye.